picks a good day you want it down. We can just pull the whole thing here in real time.
You're so good. Testing, testing. Can you guys hear me? Okay, great. So we're going to get started. There's Congresswoman. And there's Keeley. Good morning, everyone. It's great to be here in Congressional District 1 with Congresswoman Titus and our friends from the Southern Nevada Bicycle Coalition as we celebrate National Bike Month, the growth of RTC bike share, and the expansion of the RTC zero emissions fleet. For those of you who don't know me, my name is MJ Maynard. I'm the CEO for the Regional Transportation Commission. But before we get started, I want to take a moment to thank the Congresswoman and our federal delegation for delivering the bipartisan infrastructure law. And I would especially like to thank the Congresswoman for her leadership and work on the House Committee on Transportation and Infrastructure. And this committee played a very important role in ensuring that the infrastructure law became a reality. So in addition to delivering the historic funding levels and grant opportunities included in the bipartisan infrastructure law, the Congresswoman was absolutely critical in shepherding RTC's community project funding request through the legislative process, and obviously not an easy thing to do. Without her, we would not be standing here today. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome Congresswoman Titus to the podium.
Well, thank you so much, MJ. RTC is one of our best government partners. I do serve on the Infrastructure and Transportation Committee, and so that puts me in a position to work with them often, and they are just great. And thank MJ for her leadership. Also, how nice it is to have Keeley here to talk about bicycles and bicycle safety, and all her riders looking so sharp in their outfits. And I should have ridden my bicycle over here today, but just as well, I guess, that I didn't. You know, we've got several projects that we want to highlight today that are right here in District 1. And together they improve safety, they enhance quality of life, they contribute to our economy, and overall they're just the right thing to do because they help us with the problem of climate change, which has been called many times an existential challenge. I'll talk first a little bit about the bus system. When you say I supported the infrastructure bill and I got this much money for infrastructure, people don't really know what that means. You've got to be more specific and talk about projects that directly impact them. Well, enhancing the bus system along Maryland Parkway really directly affects a lot of people who live in my district, whether they're going to work, going to shop, going to the doctor. They were able to ride the bus system, and I think enhancing and improving that will certainly be better for their lives, and they can see that direct impact. We got the funding for 2 more electric buses added to the system, and you say, well, that's only 2, but wrong glasses. But that's on the way to having a completely clean system by the year, I believe it's 2035. The fleet will be emission free. So that's very exciting, and that certainly contributes to our air quality. Our other great project is an expansion of this metro bicycle system. You get people out of their cars and onto bicycles, that certainly makes a difference. You know, during COVID, the ridership was higher than ever because people were doing just that. They didn't want to drive, they weren't going far, they didn't want to be crowded in a bus, so they started riding bicycles. And now you've had 186,000 bicycle trips on our metro bicycles from RTC since 2016 when it was put in place. So these are real programs with direct impacts. I think it was an extra $142,000 that went into expanding the bicycles. It's okay, it's too late now. To expanding this bicycle system, and it's just so great to see more bicycles around. It makes us feel like a real city. You know, they have bicycles like this in our major metropolitan areas, and now we have it too. I would urge you all, though, when you are driving, be careful of pedestrians and watch out for those bicycles. They follow the rules of the road, and they have as much right to be there as anybody else. So thank you for having me. Thank you for working with me so we can get these great projects that have such a positive impact on the lives of people here in District 1.
She's amazing. Thank you, Congresswoman, for your commitment to our industry and always being an advocate for mobility options here in Southern Nevada. So our next speaker serves as president of the Nevada Bicycle Coalition. The Southern Nevada Bicycle Coalition, they are an excellent partner to the RTC. We actually go to them for help when it comes to roadway bicycle projects. We want their input. We certainly want to understand what they mean by safety, and again, they've been excellent partners. We are proud to work with them to raise awareness and promote cycling in our communities. So please help me in welcoming Ms. Keely Brooks to the podium.
Thank you. Sorry. Thanks, MJ, and thanks, Dina, for being here to support this important milestone of bringing bike share to Las Vegas. So again, my name's Keely Brooks. I'm the president of the Southern Nevada Bicycle Coalition, and it's our mission to advocate for bike safety, or safer roadways, better trails, and more biking opportunities in Southern Nevada. And you know, I was looking at the CDC website this morning to just get a sense of where obesity is in our country, and more than 42% of people are obese in our country today. And I don't know about you, but that's a big threat. And one way that we can combat that is if we get more people riding bikes to work, riding bikes to just get a coffee, riding bikes just to pick up your groceries, and you know, if you ride and commute, you can burn about 500 calories in an hour. You know, just going from here to there is part of your regular day. So it's our goal to get more people on bikes. But in one of the projects that we worked with RTC on, it was the RTC Bicycle and Pedestrian Plan. They did a survey of our community to say, why don't you get out on the bike and commute more? The number one reason people do not get out on a bike for commuting or for recreation is comfort. Basically, they don't feel safe. So what can we do about that? Well, Congresswoman Dina Titus just told us we need to bring funds to this community to build the infrastructure so that our cyclists can feel safe, that commuters can feel safe in order to get that to happen. Working with RTC and their plan of how and where the best places to put this infrastructure is super important, and that's why we partner with RTC to help them and the decision makers in our community to make those decisions. And so infrastructure is just one solution to making people feel comfortable. The other way is education, and that's why the Southern Nevada Bicycle Coalition is working to amplify and to educate. We have 3 different education campaigns on how to get cyclists to be safer. One is focused on motorist education and how motorists should change lanes when they're moving around a cyclist. But what we're doing today and this month, the National Bike Campaign. So it's not just the motorists that have to be aware of us. It's what are the things that we can do as people that ride our bikes daily to just make sure that we're as safe as we can be. And so the Ride Safe campaign is, we will have a bunch of billboards up in the middle of May. You'll see them around town, and it educates cyclists on things that they can do. Simple elements like wear a helmet or protect your head, wear a helmet, wear bright clothing, wear reflective gear, make sure you have a light, a rear and front light, wear reflectors. So it's a series, it's just 5 simple ways to try to get riders to protect themselves when they go out on the road. And so that's why I'm really excited to be participating here today to let you know not just about, you know, the infrastructure that is going to go a long way to make it safe for Southern Nevada cyclists and pedestrians, but what we're doing as well to help educate our community. So, and with that, I will turn it back over to MJ. Thanks.
I can't say enough about Keely and her team, the coalition. They spend hours and hours out in the community educating about safety around cycling in order for folks to really feel comfortable about it. And again, it really is a pleasure to partner with again, they make us smarter and we appreciate the partnership. But I want to share some facts because people are kind of surprised. They see a few bike stations around and they wonder, does anyone ever ride those bikes? They do. So as of this, first of all, the system launched in 2016. Over the 6 years since the bicycle program started, the ridership's continually increased year over year, especially during the pandemic. I don't know how many people got a chance to ride the strip when there were no cars. That was so fun. As of this month, we are approaching nearly 190,000 total rides, and riders have cycled more than 1 million miles, and to Keely's point, they've burned more than 40 million calories. That is a lot of cheeseburgers. They have also reduced the carbon dioxide emissions by more than 3 million pounds. So these really are remarkable figures. Today, RTC's bike share program comprises more than 200 bikes, and there are electric bikes now in the system. And again, thanks to Congresswoman Titus for her efforts. We're able to afford to add more electric bikes to the fleet. With her funding, we're going to be introducing 2 new stations and an additional 60 bikes. And that funding came from let me find it here, the community projects appropriations. And again, without her funding, this is something that we would not have been able to do. Congresswoman's leadership is not just limited to cycling. As she mentioned, in Congressional District 1, you will find Maryland Parkway. And again, because of her efforts, when we implement the Maryland Parkway BRT project, it will be live in 2025. Because of her efforts, we're going to be introducing hydrogen fuel cell electric buses to that zero-emission fleet. So again, I can't thank her enough for her leadership and the fact that she is concerned about our community. It's not just about cycling, it's also about all modes. And so, Congressman, thank you so much for your leadership. And I will let you know that Congressman Titus is available now if you have any questions. And thanks to all of you for coming out.